Hello and welcome to another video here on Talk Scottish Football. In this video today we are joined by Chelsea professional footballer and Scottish international Erin Cuthbert. She has represented Scotland at the absolute highest level in two international tournaments, in the last World Cup as well of course, and I'm glad to say that I'm joined by her today. How are you doing, Erin?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem. Thanks for doing it. Obviously, you're busy at the moment, aren't you? You're on international duty. So, how's that going?
Yeah, it's going well actually. It was nice to get a win against Northern Ireland. We play Wales again tomorrow, but this is our last camp before the World Cup qualifiers, and obviously we didn't end the Euro campaign the way we wanted to. So we really have to get things right for the World Cup because we want to be there. It's in, I think, New Zealand and Australia. That's a once in a lifetime experience. So there's a lot of players in the squad who it could be their last World Cup as well. So I think there's an extra motivation in the team to get there. So I think it's just the preparations leading into that. And camp's been really good. The weather's been nice, so I've enjoyed it. I can't believe the UK's had some nice weather.
I know, about time as well, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Like we've had a terrible summer or a terrible spring as well. Like
Yeah.
we're in lockdown for so long that it rained every single day. I got so much garden furniture. I was dead excited for this summer, and it's been dreadful.
Well, let's just get right into this then. We're going to speak a wee bit about, obviously, Scotland being at the Euros. It's completely captivated the nation at the moment. We've just came off a loss, unfortunately, Czech Republic. So that's why my voice is a wee bit gone for the shouting at the telly today. But obviously, you've been to two major tournaments as well with Scotland, I believe, haven't you? Euro 17 and the World Cup 2019. So you've been there, you've experienced it at the highest level. What will the players be feeling after that Czech Republic game there?
I think they'll be feeling a lot of disappointment. I think it was a game that passed them by a little bit. It was a game that we probably could have won the game. The game was won and lost in both boxes, I think. They'll be disappointed, but at the same time, there's 4 days till you play the old enemy. Like that's that. If you can't get up for that, then you can't get up for anything. You've almost literally just got to dust yourself down, because if you keep resting on your laurels of what happened in the Czech Republic game, then you're not going to move on and you're not going to get out the tournament what you want to get out of it. So we lost 2-1 in the World Cup in the opening game to England, and we didn't ever think that we were out. That was never the case. So we lost the game and we never thought we were out. We thought, right, we've got the second game to get a win. And I'm sure the guys will be thinking that they can go and get a result. Like, England are a good team. They had a good result, but they're no unbeatable.
Of course, definitely. That's what I was going to say then. Like, you've experienced that. So how do you think these players get out of the slump? Is it as simple as you've got a massive game to go over it at Wembley? This is obviously what these players have dreamed of all their life as well, representing their country at a major tournament. Is it as easy as you've got this massive game to come up against England?
I think it'll be a mix of, they'll be feeling a lot of disappointment. It was at Hampden, the home crowd, there was so much anticipation going into the tournament, first tournament in 23 years for the men's team. So they'll be disappointed that they've maybe let the nation down, or they might feel that they've let the nation down a little bit, but of course they haven't. They've got another game, and I think, like you say, it's against England. You shouldn't need any motivation against England. I think today the conversations will be happening in small groups, amongst the staff as well. Little conversations about where they felt they went wrong, where they could have done better. But I think by tomorrow, Steve Clarke will get that meeting, get them in that meeting room and say, that's done. They can look at it, but then they can park it, because at the end of the day, there's a big game. And I think in tournament football, the good thing is, games come in quick succession. So you literally don't have enough time to think about the other game that's just went. It's literally only looking forward. And I think the guys have to be really, really conscious of that. Once tonight's over and they've had all their conversations, I think tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah, definitely. Where do you think that Scotland could improve then going into this England game? He says like you thought the game was won and lost in both boxes. Of course, we had a lot of opportunities. They had fewer than us, but they obviously took their opportunities. Is it that as well? You would imagine Scotland won't get as much opportunities as well versus England, wouldn't you? So
Yeah, of course. And I think that actually might suit us. I think we're actually a team that is good at being hard to beat, first and foremost. I think that's our foundation. And, breaking, we've got quick players that can play on the counter and that can dribble and drive at players. But for me, I think the game was won. I think the game was lost. Mm-hmm. And obviously our defensive third, because we knew they were a threat before. They had, I think, 7 out of 13 goals they'd scored were from set pieces. That was a second phase from a set piece. So they knew we knew that we were a threat. We just didn't deal with it well enough. We didn't get the run. He got the run on Grant Hanley, and we're just sort of jumping and we're nowhere near it. So I think that Scotland will be really, really disappointed. I think that they've lost from a set piece first and foremost, because, like I said, Steve Clark has built the foundation on being hard to beat and being robust and literally not conceding first and foremost. And I think that has its benefits, but it also has its drawbacks, because I think we've not scored as many goals as we probably could have and should have. Mm-hmm. As a team, when you look at the sort of calibre and quality of players that we've got in the squad, I don't think we're scoring enough goals. But we had the chances today. We can't say we didn't create the chances. We've hit the bar. Lyndon Dykes has had a big chance as well. There's been a few big chances in the game. So I think going forward, we're going to have to really, touch up on our defensive elements, defending crosses a little bit better as well. But we're going to have to be more clinical, because, like you say, we're going to get fewer chances against England, and we're going to have to be ready to take them. And that's why I personally think that, we could see Che Adams starting on Friday.
Well, that's the thing as well with the Czech game. Like, we all know they're a good side, but it was just almost like the nature of the goals and the fact that we worked ourselves into good positions ourselves and we weren't able to capitalise on that. So you do feel a wee bit sore after it, of course. But just to shine a wee bit on yourself and your own career, you're obviously down in England at the moment, playing with Chelsea. How's that going? How have you adapted? And what is the differences? What is the big differences between, the women's game up here and down there?
I'm trying to be honest when I say there's streaks of difference. The English league is fully professional, so that's the fundamental. Mm-hmm. The resources and the finances, even in the men's Premier League compared to the Scottish Premier League, is substantial, and it's no different in the women's game. There is a big, financial gap between the Scottish sides and the English sides. But for me, going down, I've got an Australian, South Korean, Swede, German, Danish, they're all in my team. So right. I think me playing alongside these players are world class. They're sort of giving me an insight into different cultures and how they play. So I feel like I've definitely become more cultured, not just with age, but the fact that I'm actually playing alongside these players every day. And I think when you test yourself against top players, you're naturally going to become a better player without even trying. And I'm so sort of open to learning and wanting to be better all the time that I think that sort of helps me a lot.
Yeah, that's brilliant. What's your first memory of Scotland? Because I know for me, the last time we were in a major competition, you might be surprised to know, but I'm only 23, had a hard paper round, so I was only 3 months old the last time we were in a major competition. I don't even think you were born. So what was your first memories of Scotland and supporting Scotland?
To be honest, I remember going to the women's games. I was a wee mascot for the women's games. I think I can't even remember when that was, 2004 or something like that. Mm-hmm. For one of their games at McDermott Park. Yep. St Johnstone Stadium. That was just brilliant. I was on half time doing the keepy uppies and stuff, and I walked out with the captain Julie Fleeton. But I think my earliest memory that I can genuinely remember from the men's team is that horrible night when Italy put us out in stoppage time. Oh, that was that still gets 2008, 2007. Yeah. It was never a free kick.
No,
never a free kick. But I was so upset. I remember crying my eyes out to my dad and needing consoled. So that was definitely my earliest memory of Scotland. And to be honest, it's been hard to watch Scotland over the years, and we come so close, but we're still so far. And when I went to the game at Hampden, I think was 20. I think it was 2019. I think so. I think it was 2019 or 2017 when Scotland played England at Hampden and Lee Griffiths scored the 2 free kicks.
Yep.
Oh, that was the best game of football that I've ever been to. Honestly, my knees were not intact after that game. I think I jumped down about 2 rows. I went flying. That's definitely my best Scotland memory. And you know, people are like, "Oh, you're so young still." Like, I've barely got any big memories of Scotland because, you know, since I've been 18, I've been playing professional, so I've never really had too much opportunity to watch Scotland live because I've always been training or had games. But I had the luxury of going to Hampden that day, and honestly, it was one of the best days of my life.
Well, let's hope they give some memories down in Wembley then coming up. We're going to need it. We're going to need all the luck in the world, aren't we? But of course, you're living down in England as well. What is the feeling down there for just the people in England towards like Scottish football and the Scottish national team? Are they going to be very confident, especially after that last performance there? But you know, what's the kind of attitude down there?
Completely. They don't see Scotland as a threat. They don't. You know, it's all just a big joke to them. I've been sort of trolled on Twitter a few times saying, sorry, I haven't checked the score yet. What's the score? And like, so I'm not even going on my Twitter because I know it's going to annoy me. So I'm staying off of that now. And just wait until Friday because I could get my last laugh on Friday. So, you know, I'll be at the game. So I cannot wait, honestly. Feel really fortunate to have gotten a ticket for Wembley, but
you're going to be there.
There's definitely a feeling that Scotland, I will be there.
I'm jealous.
But no, for sure, there's a feeling amongst the whole of England that Scotland isn't a threat. Scotland's probably the worst team in the group. They might see it as so. I'm sure that they might even, you know, I don't know if there's a sense of complacency maybe in the England squad that they might think, oh, let's just rest a couple of players and for the Czech Republic game. I don't know, but I think as soon as you start writing us off, that's when we come back fighting. So never ever write us off because that's when we're at our best, I think. And I think maybe it's a good thing that we're going into this game the real underdogs because we've got something to fight for. We need something out of the game.
Absolutely. So that transitions nicely into this England game then. How do you think we need to change up? How do you think we approach this one?
For me, I think Che Adams has to start. He's an automatic for me. I think when he came on at half-time, he made such a difference. He was holding the ball up, I think, better than Dykes was. Dykes, for me, I question just how technical he is. He's been great for us, but at the same time, you know, I think all he's maybe utilised in the Scotland squad is for winning headers in the air, and maybe he thinks he can do more to his game, and I probably think he can too. But in that Scotland side, it feels like that's all he's getting used for. But I feel like Che Adams, when he came on, he was holding the ball up well. He was flicking it round the corner to Ryan Fraser. So I think he gives more energy, and I think in a game against England, he could be the difference maker in terms of giving the energy for the team, getting the team up the park, injecting a little bit of pace, and you know, scaring the defenders. I don't think, you know, Tyrone Mings or, you know, whoever the centre backs at play will want to face pace. No. And also, I think, well, it all depends on Kieran Tierney being fit. We really, really missed him today. Again, he offers something completely different from that centre-back role. He steps in and he finds a pass. I felt at times we lacked a bit of creativity. You know, we had the centre-backs on the ball just distributing it side to side because, one, there was no movement, and two, I don't think we were willing to step in enough. Step in and play some risky passes, but that's what I think Kieran Tierney does really well. So we're hoping that he's fit for Friday because he'll be a big coup for the team if he's ready. And I think the midfield is still a question mark for me. I'm not sure on the McTominay, Armstrong and McGinn partnership. I'm really not sure. That's
what I was going to say to you, Erin. You're obviously down at Chelsea, so you know all about this. The boy I'm just about to mention never featured today, Billy Gilmour. There was a lot of shouts for him to start in this game. Do you think he should be a new option and should maybe start in this one? Just to be the player, be the six that's going to be brave and going to go and get on that ball?
Yeah, I think he could be the difference. I'm not sure he's ready to be thrown in an England game. I think if he was going to start, he should have started today, to be honest with you. Because I think that's some pressure. Yeah, I think that's some pressure on young shoulders if he's thrown in on Friday, because he'll feel like he has to make the difference and he was the missing piece. So I'm not sure if he is going to start. I would like to have saw him start today, because I think that would have gave McGinn more licence, because we want McGinn in areas where he can pick up second balls off Dykes' headers and go and dribble and drive at players, but I never thought he was ever high enough or in the right position to go and do that. So I think Billy, and I think we're probably going to go with 2 sitting midfielders against England, I imagine. But I could see a Billy and Scott McTominay partnership. Like, I feel like that would work well, but if Steve Clarke doesn't go with that, I probably see I think I see McTominay and McGregor starting in midfield again, because I can't see Armstrong starting. I feel like he's he lacks the mobility. I think in that position he could maybe play as a 10, but then you take something away from McGinn. So I think if you want McGinn in his best position, you maybe need a more suited holding midfield player.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you think about Andy Robertson today? Because he's a player for me that gets a lot of criticism when he's in a Scotland jersey. I don't know if it's because the fact Kieran Tierney as well is in the squad and the both of them are just absolutely unbelievable. But I thought today he was brilliant. What did you think about him today? And what did you think about the balance of our fullbacks? Because obviously Stephen O'Donnell on the other side doesn't offer you the same sort of thing as an Andy Robertson does. So what did you think about Andy Robertson? What do you think about the potential of Stephen O'Donnell maybe dropping out for a Patterson or a Forrest or a Fraser for the England game?
First of all, I thought Andy Robertson had a really, really good game. I think that's one of the best games that I've saw him have in a long time. Not that he's played badly before, but I thought it was outstanding the way he galvanised the team. I remember on the 20th minute, he just completely shoved a boy out and won the goal kick, and he's getting the players to calm down. You can see he's really trying to lead from the back, if you like, and he's trying to instill a bit of calm, because I think Scotland had made a few needless mistakes. The ball had went under their foot. You could see a couple of nervy moments. The first 10 minutes were great, but then I think there's a few nerves start to creep in. And I think Andy, really settled the team down a little bit, and he had his chance that honestly I thought he could have went with his laces across the goalkeeper. I really, really did. I didn't think he was going to side foot it, but the keepers ultimately made a great save. But I think every time he got the ball in the first half, I was thinking, we'll take him on 1v1. He had the beating of his marker 1v1 every single time, and I think that's the first time I've actually saw Andy Robertson just want to go and take the game by the scruff of the neck, because he's always looked to pass back to Tierney, but maybe Tierney not being there has meant maybe his mindset's like, no, I actually need to go forward and I'll need to take somebody on, because I've not got maybe Tierney behind me to drive in and take players on. So I think maybe, I don't even know if Tierney's absence might have actually gave Andy Robertson the licence to just be free. But I hope that if Tierney comes into the side, he still gives that 1v1 play, still is positive on the ball, takes positive touches, because Kieran Tierney can underlap him. He's a centre-back, but he literally plays in centre-mid half the time. So I don't want to take that from his game. But the right-back situation, it's I think it's definitely coming to light more today. Yeah. I thought Nathan Patterson could start, but then Stephen O'Donnell's more experienced, more decorated, and then I saw today's performance, and I was like, he looked really, really nervy. It happens to the best of us on a big stage. Like, you can't say anything bad about the guy, but at the same time, I think if we want to progress, if we want to get a result in Friday, we're going to need someone who's willing to play with no fear. And I think Stephen O'Donnell today was playing like he had fear. And I feel like we can't really be doing that against a Raheem Sterling, a Phil Foden, a Mason Mount. So we need to be...
You're scaring me with the names here, by the way.
I know, it is. it's scaring me as well. So we need to be willing to get up against someone, but also pin someone back. Like Raheem Sterling doesn't want to be tracking back, you know. Same for Phil Foden. They don't want to be running back towards their own goal. If we're getting maybe an attacking fullback to go, knowing that we actually have 3 centre backs there and Andy who will be tucking in on the other side, we can actually nullify their threats by playing a more attacking player. So I think I'd like to see Patterson start, but again, it's really, really big pressure on Young's shoulders given he's not really started a game. So I think we could see Forrest because of Steve Clarke's decision today to bring him on. I think he did give more energy to the team, and he was higher up the pitch. You know, we found him in the box a couple of times as well.
No, absolutely. I think you can predict what's going to happen, to be honest, but I guess we'll just need to wait and see. Maybe the game today was the opportunity for Steve Clarke to be a wee bit bolder and play some of these youthful players. So if you had to give us a prediction then for this game, I know it's hard, but if you had to give us a prediction, what are you saying?
Oh, God. Well, I said we were going to win today, and that got me nowhere. So I'm going to say that I'm going to be the lucky charm, because when we went and got a result against England, I was there last time at Hampden. So I'm going to say next time when I go to Wembley to watch Scotland v England, we're going to get a result. So I'm saying it's going to be either a 1 each or a 2 each again. And really we need those points. I don't think we're going to win the game. I don't think we've got enough to win the game just because of how powerful I think England are, but you never know. It's a game against the old enemy. Like these guys are going to be up for it big time. It's been 23 years. These guys might never have this opportunity again in their lifetime. You know, it's unlikely. So you got to make the most of it. You really, really do. And I think the guys will be eager to give it their all, especially against England. So I won't be surprised if we see a different look a Scotland side more dangerous, more sort of front-footed, more wanting to make things happen.
I hope you're right. I hope we do. I hope we get a result. But after that one today, I'm feeling it. So lastly then, thanks for your time. Thanks a lot for your time. But so what would be your big goals then going forward at club level and international? You obviously had a really successful season at Chelsea this year. So what's your goals going forward for club and international?
Good question. Well, I think my international goals are clear. We need to qualify for the World Cup. We've got such a good team. I think I said this a few years ago, and I still stand by it. We're in a bit of a golden generation at the minute. Mm-hmm. We've got such a special team that we should be qualifying for major tournaments like that. So World Cup qualification is at the heart of everything that we're trying to do here. And in terms of club, I would say winning the Champions League. You know, we got battered in the final, to be honest. We got absolutely battered. Yeah. But we had a really, really good domestic season, but I think it's just the small margins. It's that next step for us. And hopefully, given another year, we're another year wiser. We've had more training together. We've sort of bonded even more. That hopefully we'll be at that point where we're challenging for the Champions League again, because it's it's the best European trophy or club competition that you can get. So I'm lucky enough that I'm at a club that's competing for that, but I'm not just settling on becoming finalists. It's not exactly a shirt that you want to frame it. Exactly. We're not just here to take part. So I think we really have to be looking to win it, but at the same time you can't get distracted too much, because we've got a really, really toughly contested domestic season that we're going to have to be competing for. So it's a bit of a crazy year. There's going to be so many competitions, so many games. Champions League formats changing to group stages like the men's team. So play each team home and away. Like it's going to be a lot of games. Going to be intense, but it's something that we're ready for.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time. Hope I'm supporting you in the next World Cup. That was the last. These were absolutely brilliant in the last one. So thanks a lot for your time today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Nice to speak to you.
That's going to do us for this video. A little chat with Erin there. I thought she spoke really, really well. Thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. And yeah, she's got me believing. She's got me believing now for the England game. Let's all hope that we can get something out of this game, because we're going to need it after the Czech Republic game. And please get involved with the Who Knows Wins Top Scottish Football League. You have until Wednesday at 2 o'clock to get involved with the second league. We had a lot of winners in the last one, and this time we're going with 12 games to predict. So it looks like number 1 will probably go away with the biggest prize there. But that's going to do us for this video. If you are new around here on the Talk Scottish Football channel, then please consider subscribing, follow us on all our socials. See you later.